Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome one, welcome all to SimSpeed TV. It is time for Sprint Car Night. Once again, the Oceanic Dirt Sim Events Australian Sprintcar Championships here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. It's the Neuropower High Banks Hustle. What a shot to bring us into this event. I-55 right there on the right side of your screen, and the racetrack itself with drivers already out on the circuit, getting their warm-up laps in before the start of this incredible event. I'm Reese Gardner here live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch and Kick. Jay Kennedy's alongside me in the comms box and producing behind the scenes. Jay, we love I-55. We're back in the 360 sprint cars for this round. Perfectly suited track for these cars.
Yeah, it's a perfect track for this car. For this track, perfect track for this car. Either way, whichever way you put it, it's going to be a great night of racing. A longer event for tonight, a 50-lap A-main, 20 cars out on track for that as well. So it should be very, very entertaining. It's going to be a very action-packed night. Lots to play out and a big championship that is really heated up now.
Yeah, certainly has. Tim Ryan was leading the championship in the early stages, but he's had a poor last few rounds. Ethan Winter has taken the championship lead from him. Harry Stewart only 11 points behind, equal with Tim Ryan. Nathan Van Der Wacker also with a great season so far, finally getting onto the podium last round at Eldora. He is fourth in the championship ahead of Cole Ferguson, who has gone from Bullet Esports to BBS Esports in the preceding couple of weeks. Other than that, the gaps for points still very close in this championship, and points are awarded for every part of the night. Where you qualify, where you finish in the heats, where you finish in the C and B mains and the A main as well. It's going to be a great night as we check out the format for tonight. Every heat is 10 laps long. Top 4 from each heat advance to the A main, and then we go through the alphabet for those who weren't able to make it into the top 4 in the heats. The A main starting order is by redraw in the top 8. Once again, A main, as you said, Jay, 50 laps in length. This is going to be the longest event of the calendar.
Yeah, all the A mains normally are 40 laps, some 30 laps, but yeah, tonight 50 laps around this amazing track. So going to be very, very tough for a lot of the drivers to get themselves in the rhythm for a 50-lap race. Some drivers would be quite struggling with the length that we've got for tonight, but it's going to be very, very entertaining to watch regardless. Qualifying right now, Harry Stewart currently with...
Yeah, Harry Stewart's put both of his laps in. 10.7 seconds is what a lap is worth around this circuit. It's one of the shortest on iRacing. Sean Stevens only 0.07 of a second behind him as we get the majority of times brought in here. The drivers are mostly working the middle to high of the track as Kobe Noonan puts in a great time to get himself into second in the standings. What can Nash Granger do from 15th place? He's ended up going for half a spin there, I think in about turn 3 or 4, likely turn 1 and 2. Bilson is another driver who we've seen have quite a good run of form in the past in ODSE. I wonder what he's going to do. It's going to be second place at the moment. He's only 0.05 of a second behind Harry Stewart. Have a look at how close these gaps are.
Incredibly tight, isn't it? I mean, we should expect it considering how small the track is. It's where you'll see a very, very close running qualifying session, but still get surprised by it each and every time because it's just so cool to see the time so close. Vanderwacker, you saw he hit the wall at the exit of turn 2 on that first run, so it didn't count. This lap is his only time lap that will count. Crosses the line and he does a 10.6. Oh, that's P1.
Nicely done from Nathan Vanderwacker. Brilliant time right there. He's going to be right on the ball tonight, I imagine. Cole Ferguson, of course, new team for him, and he's trying his best to straighten up the car out here on the exits. His first lap is going to put him 17th in the standings. Actually, that's his second lap. He's not going to be doing any more times from here on out. Tim Ryan, for the first time in a couple of rounds, actually out there with time to spare in qualifying, and he's not going to go for the first lap, but Ethan Winter goes to P1. Brilliant time once again. It's only a matter of hundredths of a second separating the drivers.
Nothing in it at all. 34, 35 have set a lap so far. The only one yet to do it is Tim Ryan. No surprise he's leaving it to the exact last second as per normal. The only lap that will count for him will slot him into P2. Great time.
That should give him pole position for the second heat of the night. Those are all of the times run and done. And these are your quick time standings in the top 10. Ethan Winter only 100th ahead of Tim Ryan, Vanderwacker, Stewart, Bilson, and Noonan will round out your top 6 times. And just like that, we are in the grid for the first heat of the night. And what a grid it's going to be. There's just about every driver can win this one. Ethan Winter and Riley Bilson will start up on the front row with Baldwin and Ryan behind them. Jaden Russell and Hayden Vickers round out the top 6. And then we have Nathan Norman and Bailey Leeson on row 4. The 9-car field rounded out by Bo Nation. There's some excellent form from all of the drivers involved here in the first heat of 4 for tonight.
Get into the racing. Let's give a shout out to friend of the channel, friend of the series, sponsor of tonight's racing, Alan Tristo, currently watching along, sadly from a hospital bed, but he'll fight on and he'll be back bigger, better, stronger than ever. Out to you, Tristo. We miss you. Hope you're well.
Yeah, we certainly do. Good on you, Tristo. He's made regular appearances at ODSE events and actually got into the feature last round, I believe, or a couple of rounds ago. So we shall see if Tristo, when he comes back, maybe invigorated from the short stay in hospital he's currently in at the moment. Big shout out to you, Tristo. Well, everyone's lined up on the grid now for Heat 1. The pace truck pulls away. And we'll go for a single formation lap, I think, tonight. Heat 1, we usually go for 2 formation laps, but the rest of the heats usually 1 formation lap. We'll see if it's shortened here for the first heat of the night. Winter versus Bilson on the front row. Who's going to come away with the win here?
Just said, it's a very, very open field. Every single driver has had some form throughout the series, so you can't discount anyone in this one. We will do the 2 formation laps first heat, get ourselves underway, but it's going to be a very, very interesting night, a very, very competitive field. We're going to see 4 competitive heats, 2 competitive mains before we get into the A main, and that A main is going to be so heated.
Oh yeah, certainly is. Already hearing some predictions in the InSim chat that Heat 4 is going to break some friendships. We'll see how that goes when we get to it. But we've got to get to Heat 1 first. On the power for Ethan Winter. We are go at I-55 for Heat 1. Winter running the high line and getting the momentum up here. But diving to the inside is Bilson trying to take the lead here. He's not able to keep the momentum up. Opens himself up to an attack from Brady Baldwin. It's close as you like here for second place. They almost bang wheels, but we need to keep an eye on fourth place. That is the last transfer spot, and Jaden Russell's just lost it to Nick Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan and Russell have been fighting for entirety so far. Now Hayden Vickers is getting involved, which has stolen the spot from Jaden Russell. So Nick Ryan, Hayden Vickers, Jaden Russell, 3 cars don't fit into one spot.
Oh, they certainly don't. This is very tight fighting at the moment. Russell falling down to 6th place now as Hayden Vickers got past him into the top 5. That's how small the track is. It's amazing the pace that these sprint cars get around it, as Nick Ryan has just lost 2 spots there in the number 7, and he's gone up the field there. Contact with the 52 of Bailey Leeson. Some big trouble that Nick Ryan is in at the moment. That means Hayden Vickers now occupies the last transfer spot.
For now, though, it is for now. Jaden Russell's got some good pace running the outside there. He's making it work very, very well for him. Getting some great momentum, but he just can't get clear by the start-finish line. He is very, very close. It's a run or a small little error from Vickers here the last lap. It could be all over. I think the friendships could be done in race 1 here between the Synergy Sim Racing teammates.
Yeah, you never know. Could be interesting goings here between Vickers and Russell, as Norman and Leeson have just traded spots for 6th place, and Russell ever so briefly ahead.
He's ping. Oh, no, it's back.
Oh, okay. Technical issues for Jaden Russell as Winter wins the heat. Baldwin and Bilson 2nd and 3rd. Vickers will beat Russell for the final spot in the transfer. And that is Heat 1 over and done with. Winter, Baldwin, Bilson and Vickers go straight through to the feature. Russell, Norman, Leeson, Nation and Ryan will be making appearances in the B and C mains tonight. Then we move on to Heat 2. And, well, it's been a while since we've seen Tim Ryan at the top of a grid, but he does start alongside Kobe Noonan with Rattray White and Hurley on the 2nd row. Daniel Boyd and Luke Payton 5th and 6th. Corey Borden and Cameron De Bruin will be on your 4th row, and the number 35 of Robert Crawley is going to start in 9th place. Another 9-car grid for this one. It looks like every field is projected to be 9 cars, save for the final heat, which will only be 8 cars. We're already getting off to a start here.
Taking long before we're rolling off. Just said Tim Ryan, it's been a few weeks since we've seen him starting right at the pointy end. He's had a rough little run, but I think tonight might be the kick into gear that he's needed. His season back on track. Saying that, it hasn't completely fallen away. He's still in a very, very good position, equal 2nd, but it's not the Tim Ryan we saw in those first 4 rounds.
Yeah, Tim Ryan, of course, a former World of Outlaws iRacing Sprintcar Champion, and is known for his sheer dominance at the front of fields. We haven't seen much of that in 2024, but we'll see if he can get off to the start he needs here in Heat 2 at I-55. It's called the High Banks Hustle for a reason. So much banking on the outside of this circuit. But will Tim Ryan work the outside or the inside? It's going to be the outside here on lap 1. But Kobe Noonan is trying to keep him honest early on.
Mind it is a 4-5-way fight for the 3rd position. Saying that, Noonan's just been swamped right at the approach.
Yeah.
Turn 1. Zach Rattray White, Aston Hurley, Daniel Boyd, Luke Payton, and Corey Borden all together there. The Bruin and Crawley just watching at the back, but I think they'll be there ready to pounce if a mistake happens. And there's a minor one there for Aston Hurley.
Yeah, the 99 getting a little crossed up, feeding the right rear into the concrete, and there's a coming together. Borden and Payton to the back of the field. Looks like Crawley's had some issues as well. Payton and Borden are both out, unfortunately. We only have 7 cars remaining in the heat, and it's going to be over just like that. We are actually halfway through now as Ryan and Noonan are on lap 6.
Halfway through, and he's down to 5. Boyd and Hurley now trying fight amongst each other for this position, and then they make heavy contact. Boyd's going to hold on, but Aston Hurley, he's got a great run and cuts back to the inside.
Yeah, slide job unfortunately not working out for Hurley there. Lost momentum, and Boyd will still occupy P4 here. Beautiful onboard view of what Aston Hurley is dealing with right now. It's only going to be 2 laps to go when they cross the line next, and Hurley's continuing to find the wall like he did at the start. If he can get a 4th place finish out of this, it would be a miracle for him, but we'll have to wait and see. It looks like Peyton and Borden both out of the race there with 5 cars remaining in the race, and Hurley still occupies that 5th spot as Tim Ryan rounds the last corners to take the win in Heat 2. Kobe Noonan will finish in 2nd spot, and it looks like Boyd is going to fend off Hurley for the final transfer spot.
Great race, that one. Well done, guys. Great battle, but unfortunate for De Bruyne and Crawley. Peyton and Borden, they had contact. Borden actually received a penalty for contact there. Hurley will have to go through the alphabet, but Boyd, Rattray, White, Noonan, Ryan, you can see them in the A main straight away.
That we will. Now it's time for the 3rd heat, with Nathan Vanderwacker starting on pole with Sean Stevens alongside Trent Gosley. First time we've seen him in the car in a bit, with Clayton Davies alongside him. Ferguson and Schultz on the 3rd row. Josh Barry starting alongside Thomas Mitchell, 7th and 8th. And then Travis Parrott will be your last car on the grid here. The last 9-car heat for the night. Once again, we'll only have 8 starters for Heat 4. But this is going to be a very hotly contested heat, this one. Sean Stevens and Nathan Vanderwacker, 2 very fast drivers that are knocking on the door of feature podiums more often than not. Who will get the best start out of them when we come round to start?
It's a very, very short track. It's so short that the timing sometimes will glitch, so I apologize. Decide to not play friendly. It's just the nature of the track being so short. It causes havoc within the iRacing service.
Indeed it does. Another view of just how cramped this track is, how wide it is too. So much room to race as the start gets underway, and Nathan Vanderwacker will lead us across the line. Stevens caught sleeping a little bit. He's getting rounded up here by Gosley and by Clayton Davies. But yeah, Davies is having trouble keeping it straight.
Doesn't look quite as composed as I thought he might have, but the top 4 have broken him. Bit of a margin back to the 4 next drivers. They're fighting incredibly hard. 3 wide at the exit of turn 2 here, and have a look at the run there from Cole Ferguson. Nowhere to go though except the wall.
Yeah, Ferguson tried to sneak through, it didn't work, and looks like Josh Barry's doing a good job keeping John Schultz behind him, but the number 28 of Thomas Mitchell trying to sneak through and make a run here at Davies and Gosley, who still hold on to 3rd and 4th. Looks like Vanderwack is starting to skip away, and we're seeing more drivers use the inside of the circuit now, the low line. We had a lot of people using the top early on, but it seems like the bottom is where you want to be.
The run into turn 1 looks like it's very, very slippery on the high line, but below looks very, very grippy at the moment, but that will change very, very quickly as the night progresses. Only 3 laps to go in this heat, and it's over before we realise it's such a quick night of racing.
Davies is in trouble for 4th meanwhile, as to the inside goes the 14 of Josh Barry, makes contact with Trent Gosley. This has brought the battle for the transfer right into it. All of these cars, 5 of them together for that 3rd place. Davies still just holding on to the final transfer spot, but this time Cole Ferguson manages to make it work around the outside. Keep an eye out for him in the number 81 here, trying to get around Josh Barry. Is he going to straighten the car up and get it done? He will. He'll get into the wall. He'll get up the inside of Trent Gosley, and that's going to be the end of the race there. We didn't even see the winner crossing the line. It was so intense, that battle for the transfer. Vanderwacker won by over a second. Stevens and Davies separated by 6/10. Trent Gosley just manages to fend off 4th place from Cole Ferguson. He, Josh Barry, Thomas Mitchell, John Schultz and Travis Parrott will all have to make appearances later on to get into the feature. And finally, this is the grid that may end some friendships. Harry Stewart and Joel Berkeley on the front row. What a front row that is. Darcy Wilson and Bradley Oldfield, 3rd and 4th. Brenton Hobson is going to start alongside Nash Granger on the 3rd row. And then we have Daniel Nicol and Cam Brooks rounding out our field. Liam James in race control. He's going to disqualify himself and allow the rest of the drivers to carry on. 8 cars starting this one, and this is one of the most stacked fields I've seen yet.
This is incredible. We've literally got 8 drivers that could win this race. Friendships, a lot of rivalries within this series as there is, but friendships are definitely going to be over in this heat. It's going to be very, very interesting to see who comes out on top. Who's your money on? I don't even know who to pick. I can't pick either. I've got 7 drivers written down to take 4 spots here.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be putting any chips down. I'm just going to sit back and take this in. The number 11, 2nd place in the championship. He's got a lot to race for. Joel Berkeley doesn't race as often as he used to, but he's one of the fastest drivers in ODSE competition on his day. And look at that. He's executed the start perfectly as Stewart gets up to speed. He loses 2nd place to Darcy Wilson, but for how long? Berkeley's going to commit to working the high line here to try and build up some momentum and get past. Bradley Oldfield holding on to 4th place, but Brenton Hobson is looking to get up the inside.
Darcy Wilson's doing a very, very nice job on the inside of Berkeley. You see him running that outside, he's right up against the wall and making it work quite well, but Oldfield's broken away from the rest of the group as well. So Granger, Hobson, Nicol and Brooks, they need to find something second half of this race. Try and work the way to come back, because that gap has come out pretty big, pretty quick.
Yeah, certainly has. Our top 4 are together, and Berkeley's built up enough momentum that he's even having a run at the lead here. Harry Stewart has to leave him a little room on the outside. He's committed to the tight line around this circuit, and he's lost the lead now to Joel Berkeley. Looks like Berkeley's going to have enough momentum to commit to the lead here, and together, Bradley Oldfield and Harry Stewart. Oldfield sent into the wall, but he manages to continue on. Let's put a little bit of space between himself and Darcy Wilson, who's the only driver of our top 4 still working the bottom line.
Making it work okay, but you can see that the inside line has definitely gone away from the last heat. Last heat, the inside was probably preferred, and then by the end of the heat, it was pretty even, but now that outside is definitely playing a huge advantage. Bradley Oldfield now got Brenton Hobson, who has come on in leaps and bounds, but he's making the inside seem to work a little bit. Saying that turn 1 didn't quite work as well as we might have liked, lost a little bit of ground.
Yeah, it looks like Darcy Wilson's abandoned the low line ahead as the white flag flies. Can Brenton Hobson get past Bradley Oldfield and secure a spot in the feature? That's the big question on our minds. The win is just about decided. Stewart having a run at Berkeley to the line, but Berkeley's going to take it. Wilson is going to finish in 3rd, and Oldfield fends off Hobson for the final transfer spot. We are very quickly going to be seeing Hobson, Granger, Brooks and Nicol again as we move straight on into the C main, a 9-car grid for this one, and it's going to be headed up by Thomas Mitchell in the number 28. Cam Brooks will start alongside him on the front row. Bo Nation and Luke Payton start 3rd and 4th. Schultz and Nicol 5th and 6th, and then we have Nick Ryan, Corey Borden and Travis Parrott rounding out our 9-car field for the C main. Now the top 4 from this one transfer through to the B main. Anyone who finishes outside that top 4, their night is over.
Don't want to end up out at this point of the night. You want your night to continue on for as long as you can, because there's more championship points the further you go into the night. So very important to get as many positions as you can, not as high up as you can, but only 4 of these drivers will advance on. The other 5, their night is done.
Yeah, the pressure is on for the likes of John Schultz and Daniel Nicol, to say nothing of Ryan, Borden and Parrott. I think Borden, Ryan and Parrott, they'll be hoping for some redemption. Remember, they had to exit their heats after crashes, so hopefully they'll be able to at least make it to the finish here. It's going to be hotly contested in the C main.
See a really, really heated race for the rest of the night too. Very, very good. When you look at championship points and positions that drivers have been in other races, so every single race is going to be very, very hot. Race truck is in. Get underway.
Here we go then. Power on for Thomas Mitchell, and we are away. The green flag flies. Great start for Mitchell. Cam Brooks caught out a little bit. Bo Nation immediately challenging for the second spot. It is on for third. It is on for fourth. Luke Payton trying to get ahead of John Schultz as I'm hearing loads of crashing sounds. It seems like Thomas Mitchell is feeding the right rear into the wall every opportunity he gets. He wants to skip away from this fight. Pretty much everyone fighting over second right now.
Yeah, the only driver not fighting over second is Mitchell, who's broken a huge margin. Bo Nation starting to break a margin, but you throw a blanket over everyone else. It is still well and truly up for grabs on who will take those transfer spots. Because remember, 2 extra laps from our heats, a bit more chance to make a mistake, a little bit more chance to make a move. One that's going to make those moves.
That is the question. Luke Payton still trying to stay with Cam Brooks here for third place. Nick Ryan right behind them, looking to bring things up in terms of heat, in terms of momentum. Payton briefly holding on to third spot there, and it looks like Cam Brooks is losing pace there on the inside. He's trying the low line, see if it still works, but it looks like the top line's where you want to be right now.
Contact there between Brooks and Ryan, as well as Travis Parrott. His race is done. He's all. Parrott is out for the night, unfortunately. Won't see him in action anymore, but Nick Ryan, Cam Brooks, this battle for the last transfer spot, this is on. This is action-packed. This is heated. Oh, that's heavy in the wall.
Nick Ryan trying to chastain it round the outside, it seems. He's really desperately trying to hold on for this. He's got a lot of time to play with, though, because John Schultz, Daniel Nicol and Corey Borden, they've got quite a few car lengths to make up. But Ryan needs to be careful not to get into Cam Brooks here if he wants to grab that fourth spot. No pressure from behind, all the pressure up in front, and to the inside he goes again. Will the slide job work? There's just enough space for Cam Brooks to get through. They both make contact as the white flag flies. 12 laps is over, just like that, and it seems like Brooks has done enough to hold him off. Bo Nation will finish second to Thomas Mitchell there. Mitchell with a dominant victory here in the C main, and all the cars have crossed the line that finished. So Thomas Mitchell is going to win at your C main. And then we have Bo Nation, Luke Payton and Cam Brooks moving through to the B main. Ryan, Nicol, Borden, Schultz and Parrott will be going home now. So long, guys. Better luck next round. It's B main time. And Jaden Russell's going to start on pole for this one alongside Aston Hurley, Cole Ferguson and Brenton Hobson on the second row. It's Norman and De Bruin on row 3. Josh Barry and Nash Granger 7th and 8th, with Bailey Leeson and Rob Crawley rounding out the top 10. And then we have our top 4 from the previous race. It's Mitchell, Nation, Payton and Brooks who make their way in. And once again, it's only the top 4 that you're really racing for, but this is your last chance to get into the feature.
One more chance and one more opportunity. What will be the biggest A main of the season? Bring that the 4 drivers that were our 5th place finishers from the 4 heats, they all had enough pace to make it into 3rd, 4th, 5th easily. So see them in this race and then be knocked out is going to be very, very heartbreaking for them. Keep an eye. Russell, Hurley, Ferguson, Hobson, they'll want those 4 spots.
Yeah, they certainly will. This is also the biggest field we've seen so far. We're going to add 6 more for the feature grid. It's going to be difficult to pick a winner out of these drivers. Russell, Hobson, the Synergy cars involved in all of this. They'll be looking to both get into the feature and get some good representation for Synergy. Let's see how they go. From pole, Jaden Russell puts the power down and he is away. It's already on for second place. Hurley versus Ferguson. Hurley's dropping back. There's contact sent to the inside. There is the 96 of Nathan Norman, and it's all on here in the pack.
This pack is very, very messy. A little bit of contact there, Norman. He would have been disappointed with that, but
spin for Robert Crawley.
it's just drop it. Wow.
Crawley's out.
Norman. Oh, this is messy. Norman makes contact there with Bailey Leeson.
Oh!
Thomas Mitchell as well, and Cameron Bruin also hitting the ball. It's on for the lead,
Yeah,
too.
goodness. Yeah, a lot of melee going on here, but Cole Ferguson challenging Jaden Russell on the high line. Once again, seems like the mid to low line is not working at this stage of the night. Maybe it'll come back to drivers in the feature, but right now, if you're on the high banks, you are hustling here in the B main at I-55. Barry and Hobson still hold on to the third and fourth spots, but Hobson is under pressure from Aston Hurley.
Yeah, pressure is starting to build very, very quickly behind the lead, isn't it? Really applying.
Pretty
those
wide for the
weight
lead.
blocks. Yeah, front. The lead is at and as well. Where do we watch?
Yeah, where do we watch indeed? Yeah, this is crazy right now. Cole Ferguson has made it into the lead on Jaden Russell, but Josh Barry's having a really good comeback here. Remember, Barry started in 7th spot. He's got great pace here, and he could be challenging for P2, let alone the win. If Ferguson runs into a little bit of trouble, he's hung back a little bit more, so we're not going to be seeing too much going on in the battle for the top 3, and it looks like Hobson has dropped Aston Hurley. Thomas Mitchell now occupies 5th place, but he's got a lot of ground to make up on Hobbo.
Nathan Norman's been the one that'll be most heartbroken by this night, because it started 5th. Was up in about 3rd by the exit of turn 2, and it's just gone south for him from that. It's down to 11th position now, but Cam De Bruin, Luke Payton still side by side, still fighting with Nash Granger, getting by Luke Payton there too. So still lots going on, but Aston Hurley is dropping quickly. Thomas Mitchell though starting to close in on Brett and Hobson, not quite there yet, but that lead is still on.
Certainly is. Trading places, Cole Ferguson, Jaden Russell and Josh Barry, and it's more for second than it is for the lead. Looks like they're just having fun out there in the last couple of laps as Russell dips up the inside of Barry to retake second place. Hobson is catching up to them. We got another car out. Looks like Cameron De Bruin has run into trouble as the white flag flies. Cole Ferguson under no pressure at the front of the field. He'll come through and take victory in the B main here at I-55. It's side by side for second. Who gets it? It's going to be Josh Barry over Jaden Russell. And that is as close a gap as you like, only 100th of a second. Brenton Hobson, meanwhile, he was very pacey in the late stages there. He will get into the feature. Unfortunately, Thomas Mitchell, Bailey Leeson, Nash Granger, Aston Hurley, Luke Payton and Nathan Norman will not make it into the feature here tonight. And the same goes for Bo Nation, Cam Brooks, Cameron De Bruin and Robert Crawley. Big shame especially for the likes of Norman and De Bruin. They started in 5th and 6th. So to finish that far down, certainly not what they would want to see. But as we said before, better luck next time to them all. Now, Jay, it is time for the grid draw. We have our good friend, the spinny wheel, up on screen, and we'll be able to decide who starts in the top 8. First up is Ethan Winter. You got the entire gamut of the top 8 to choose from here, Ethan. I assume you'd like pole?
With the curse on the one pill, maybe not. But at least towards the front half of the pill draw, that'd be nice.
All right, well, the spinning wheel does the spin, and we'll see where exactly you start for the feature here. It's going to be 4th place. That will be outside second row. You happy with that?
Yeah, it's not too bad. We'll see what Brady does with the track, and we'll let it rip.
Excellent stuff. Let's see what he does on the high banks. Tim Ryan is next up. Tim, some great form here in this round, and you'll be looking to get your season back on track and keep challenging for the championship lead.
Yeah, mate, it should be an interesting race. 50 laps is going to be a long way. Hopefully, just keep the car pretty, free, so it doesn't get any damage on it. So we'll see how it goes.
Indeed, we will. Here we go then, coming into the positions 1 to 3 and then 5 to 8. Fourth place has already been taken by Ethan Winter, as it seems the spinning wheel has been broken. We'll have
It's always been broken, boys. I wish it was permanently broken today. What the hell? No.
Yeah.
Don't start now, Tim. Come on.
I never know either till you guys.
Oh, fortune favours you, Tim. You're starting on pole.
Bullshit. No, I don't know if you're taking the piss now because I never.
No BS. The triangle is sitting on the number 1. You've got pole position for the Neuro Power High Banks Hustle.
What an honour. I deserve it. No, honestly don't. You know how I feel about this, but yeah. Well, I can't talk shit now, can I? No.
No, certainly not. All right, well, Tim Ryan will jump back into the interview booth as we bring in Nathan Vanderwacker. Podium for the first time in an A main recently, Nathan, and let's see if you can get any further there. You're going to be starting 3rd.
I'll take that. I'm happy to start inside row and just happy to kind of start up front. So hopefully we can go back-to-back podiums.
Yeah, well, certainly would be excellent to see. Joel Berkeley's now with us. It's been a while since we've had a chat to you, Joel. You've managed to get into the top 8. Let's see where you are.
You're definitely right. It's been a while, but no one might like to be a number 8 we draw.
All right, well, 8th is still up for grabs. We'll have to wait and see on that. It's going to slow down, and it is going to be 8.
I called it.
Wow.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, Joel Fortune Teller Berkeley. Let's see if you can forecast a lottery win at some point.
I'll put that on. Harry be 7.
All right, Harry Stewart starting 7th. That's the call from Joel Berkeley. We'll have to wait and see if he ends up being correct in his summations. The next driver we're going to have a chat to is Brady. Oh, yes, it is Brady. All right, so where are you hoping out of 2nd, 5th, 6th, or 7th?
7th.
I'll take car 7 for 7th. Also, shout out to Tristan Yelland at Neuropower. He's not doing too good at the moment. I know he's watching the broadcast, so all the best, Tristo, and hopefully we can put on a show for you.
Yeah, well, let's see if you can put a show on for Tristo from 5th place, Brady. That is where you're going to be starting.
Yeah, not too bad. We'll see how the race goes.
Indeed we shall. Next up is Kobe Noonan in the number 26. 2nd, 6th, or 7th? Kobe, those are your choices.
I like number 2.
Yeah, I'm sure you would, and you're going to get it. 2nd place.
Well done. That's really good. Hopefully we can just sort of get into a rhythm, and hopefully I'll speak to you a bit later.
Yeah, certainly hope for more from you. Comey Noonan, the next driver up is going to be Sean Stevens. And let's see where you end up. Sean, 6th or 7th is your choice. And it's going to be 6th. I tell you what, Joel Berkeley was right. Harry Stewart's going to be starting alongside him on the 4th row. But for you, Sean, it is outside 3rd row.
Upper position, can be happy with that, I suppose. We'll give it a crack.
Yeah, we certainly will. And Harry Stewart is in here with us. Well, Harry, Joel predicted that you'd start alongside him on the 4th row. Looks like he was correct.
Oh, yeah. Can't get away from Mr. Berkeley tonight. Alright, that sucks. Oh.
Well, it's going to be a great battle between you two, at the very least, in the race to come. And you've got all the world ahead of you to try and defend 2nd in the championship.
Yeah, no, definitely going to be interesting. Hopefully it's all fun and games, and yeah, it can be fun.
Yeah, indeed. Really looking forward to this feature. That's going to conclude our grid draw, Jay. Tim Ryan will start on pole. First time we've seen Tim Ryan on pole for an A main in a long time, and it came through the thing he dislikes the most, the spinning wheel.
I've just realised I've made. So, my apologies. I've put Paul Ferguson.
Yeah.
I've had a shocker today, so that's okay. I'll I'll forgive myself. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and yeah, Tim won't be able to complain about this. He's usually not the biggest fan of the pill draw or the spinny wheel. Whatever way it's done, it's still the same. Still a random chance, but yeah, he's not the biggest fan of it. But tonight, thrilled.
Absolutely, he is. What a race this is going to be. We're going to have a massive field of sprint cars here making their way around Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 for the Nero Power High Banks Hustle. Big shout out, as Brady said, once again to Tristo Yellen, the man behind Nero Power, currently in hospital right now. We wish you all the best, Tristo, and a swift recovery to you. But we will get to the racing action now. 50 laps on the cards here at I-55, and the man starting from pole position will be Tim Ryan. Now, the grid graphic isn't going to tell the full story. It shows the drivers as they are in the spots they would have gotten through their heat finishes, but the race control crew will adjust them on the formation laps so that everyone starts where they are supposed to. First to 8th was decided by the spinning wheel. Everyone from 9th on back is exactly where they're going to be starting, with Riley Bilson and Zach Rattray White rounding out the top 10. Davies and Wilson 11th and 12th. We move back onto the 7th row. Hayden Vickers and Daniel Boyd, with Trent Gosling and Bradley Oldfield, two heavy hitters in ODSE, starting from a long way back. Cole Ferguson not starting in 4th place. He'll start in 17th. Ethan Winter's going to be starting 4th alongside Josh Barry for him, Jaden Russell and Brendan Hobson. The Synergy duo right at the back of the field. Let's see how far up they can get.
Cole wishes that the graphic that I had made up as we were going was right. My apologies, but he's probably happy that I kept him off it in the end, but he wasn't too upset about the fall. It seems to be a little bit of a curse being that first driver to get their position, because we haven't seen very many get that a good spot at all, even in the top 2 or 4. So yeah, he's got a top 4. Obviously, Tim Ryan from 2nd to 1st. Normally, that first has come lot further back, so he's going to be quite happy with it.
Yeah, for sure he will. Well, we've had Tim Ryan start from pole in the past and absolutely dominate. Is that going to be the case here at I-55? The Nero Power High Banks Hustle is go. 50 laps on the board. Let's see how far we get before our first caution. Tim Ryan leading by half a second from Kobe Noonan, but it is all on for 2nd place. Ryan is skipping away, but as they fan out and come together in the straights and the corners, it is on between Kobe Noonan and Nathan Vanderwacker. Ethan Winter getting up into 2nd place.
4 wide at the exit of turn 4. 4 wide again as there's been contact. Trent Gosley been around, and Brenton Hobson may have had a drama as well. So replay of what's going on there in a minute, but drivers won't be too upset with an early caution there, because that was a very, very heated start.
Yeah, certainly was. Looks like Gosley made contact with Oldfield coming out of turn 3.
Broke his front wheel.
Yeah, he did, and well, it's the first 10 laps of an ODSE event, so you are able to go into the pits and get a fast repair done, but Gosley's decided to retire from this incident. He was already a bit wiggly, and then on the exit, Oldfield was staying narrow, and Gosley came up into him, and that is the front steering arm destroyed.
Destroyed. Freaking bits everywhere, so for the left with 19 now. We only survived 3 laps, unfortunately, so we're about to start lap 4. Drivers ready to go very, very quickly, because there's not too much for race control review in that one. Gosley by self-penalty.
Indeed. Now, with the caution just about to end, I just want to raise the point that some drivers will have underfueled the cars. They often do, because caution laps do not count for the overall race result. And sometimes you'll be banking on there being a lot of caution laps and a lot of opportunities to save fuel. We'll see what state everyone is in the final stages, but we have to get through the first ones first. Tim Ryan still leading here at I-55. Kobe Noonan getting 2nd place back from Ethan Winter. Winter, but for how long? Winter's working the middle line here. Tim Ryan's the only one I'm really seeing at the top working the high line. You have to go down to the rear of the field to see drivers feeding the right rear into the wall.
Yeah, it's a bit further back. We're seeing a lot of high stuff except for Tim Ryan. Berkeley trying to make his way through the field. He's dropped back a little bit from where he started, so hoping he can recover that. Going to be attacking cars in front and behind him. Very cool track for racing though, isn't it?
A fantastic track indeed. You're seeing a strip of fresh clay down at the bottom, and it looks like Kobe Noonan and Brady Baldwin are working it hard right now. Still up in the slick a little bit is Nathan Van Der Wacker and Ethan Winter. You see how close that battle is for second from the aerial view, and you see it again here. It looks like no one wants to finish second at the moment. There's so much slicing and dicing going on. One car looking a bit slow there coming out of turn 2 on the inside as Tim Ryan continues feeding the car into the concrete barriers at the top of the circuit. This is all on in the midfield.
It is very, very close in the midfield. I believe that was Toby Oldfield that was a little slow on the inside. You can see he's switched now to the outside trying to make that work for him, but not going to be the easiest to do. It's 3 wide for second position. Sorry, for third position between Van Der Wacker, Baldwin and Noonan.
No, this is exactly what we like to see, but it's not what any of the drivers wants. They would like to overcome this battle and get into some kind of rhythm. We're on to the 12th lap of racing here. A nice green flag run starting to form. How long will it be before we see a big incident? I have absolutely no idea. On board with the Vortex car as they make their way through the final corners at I-55 and immediately into the first ones once again. This track is so tight, and you see how little grip there is on the track right now. The slick lines going all the way up the circuit.
There's a little bit more grip at the exit of turn 4 than there is exit of turn 2, but that's about the only place there is grip at the moment. So one positive that brings is it stays that way till the end. You might find a little bit of a run for the checkered flag as Riley Bilson's found something. It's starting to make his way through. He was 7th a couple of laps ago. Now up into 4th. There's a caution out. Josh Barry facing the wrong.
Oh dear, and it looks like the front right is broken.
Very broken.
Not a good time for Noonan. He's got to be careful on the recovery though. Everyone has to dip under him there. Oh, careful. Jeez, Josh Barry coming down into Nathan Van Der Wacker there. It looks like that car is undrivable right now, that number 14. And what exactly happened to him? We'll have to wait and see on that. Looks to me like Barry came up on Brenton Hobson coming out of turn 4, just got past the 26, and there goes Hobbo, turns him around and heavy into the barrier.
That's heavy impact for Barry, heavy for Daniel Boyd and Brenton Hobson there too, so surprised if they got a little bit of damage. I can see Zach Rattray White has driven in to get a spare car. Also in is Sean Stevens. He's come in to get a spare car from that as well. Remembering, said before that they can get a spare car in the first 10 laps. It's been extended to 15 tonight with the longer race, so they had a little bit of an extra opportunity to get their spare car if they needed it. No more opportunities from now. What you've got is what you've got to race to the end.
All right, who has the best placement coming off this restart here, the second of the night? Tim Ryan not getting away as much as he did previously. Ethan Winter challenging him as Berkeley is dicing in this pack. The purple number 9 right in the middle of everyone here. Baldwin and Bilson up ahead. Kobe Noonan up high. Berkeley trying to cut through the middle.
Berkeley's doing an interesting bit of work here, isn't he? He's a little bit out of sorts. Oh, coming across in front of him. That's Harry Stewart. Huge.
Yeah, looks like Stewart had a little coming together with Brady Baldwin and Kobe Noonan. Noonan and Baldwin made contact on the exit of turn 4, and Baldwin was bumped down into Stewart. This is another view of it. Stewart trying to cut down low, and then Noonan and Baldwin make contact, and well, there was nowhere for Harry to go, certainly nowhere for Joel Berkeley to go from that point.
100%, and yeah, that started from what he hit. Kobe Noonan clipped the wall, forced him down the track, which then he made contact with Baldwin, which hit, obviously hit Stewart, which then hit Who was
Stewart.
it? Berkeley was the last car that was hit
Berkeley,
there.
yes. Berkeley, yes.
Brains really stopped working. But glad got a couple extra laps to just take our breath here. Race Control are reviewing that one as well, so this will be interesting to see if there's any decision around what may come from that.
Yeah, from what I could see, Baldwin did come up into Noonan a little bit, but you know, we'll have to wait and see for a final decision from Race Control. The restarts have been changed to, well, they were changed to single file by Race Control Liam, and then Brady changed them back to double file in the car. So combining his racing and race control duties there as the race is back off to a good start here. And the 51 of Bradley Oldfield trying to get away from the pack behind. Berkeley still all the way back there in 8th, 9th spot. He's battling with Brady Baldwin for that as Bilson and Vanderwacker are trading places for 3rd.
Bilson's been driving absolutely out of his skin, hasn't he? He's been doing a very, very nice job. He started in 9th, he's up in 4th, really fighting for 3rd and potentially for the lead, because you can see Winter and Tim Ryan, who are now side by side, are right there with them as well. This is very tight for the lead.
Yeah, Ryan's going to try and switch down low a little bit. He's searching for some fresh clay in the middle of the circuit, but there's not much there. It's really the upper high line in turns 3 and 4, and then the all the way down low line in turns 1 and 2. That's where the grip seems to be right now. So Ryan is just staying ahead of Winter for the time being. Vanderwacker looks safe in 3rd. Oldfield up to 4th place now. And Riley Bilson, it looks like he'll have to give in here. He gets up into the slick. He's trying to keep Oldfield behind him, but Oldfield will get it done around the outside of turn 4.
Oldfield started 16th and is now up to position number 4 and gaining still. So this is great pace from Oldfield. See what he can do. Past halfway, 23 laps to go when we come up to the line. So getting into the action-packed segment of this race, Bilson's now looking like he's struggling a little bit now that inside line has gone away from him, but the track is pretty much slick the whole way through.
Yeah, especially in turns 1 and 2. You see a little bit more fresh clay up top in 3 and 4 there, but when you turn in for 1 and 2, the slick literally goes all the way across the racetrack. That just shows it. All of the lighter colored dirt is fresher. If it's dark, it's slick, it's slippery, and there is no grip there. We're seeing a few brave souls trying to find some grip there, though. The number 91 of Riley Bilson is unable to fight back against Oldfield for the time being, and behind him, Joel Berkeley trying to make his way past Kobe Noonan.
Berkeley's got Noonan there right with him, hasn't he? So careful of that as there's been contact. As Harry Stewart had another incident. Oh, Harry Stewart's upside down.
Oh, no. Oh, and he's out. Harry Stewart out of the race here after starting 7th and, second in the championship coming into this round. Unfortunately, making contact with the number 15 of Hayden Vickers on the inside of turn 1. He dives down, but it's 3 wide. There's not much room. Bangs wheels, and then he can't get it straightened up. Big hit to the wall.
Heavy impact, isn't it? He just shot up into the wall and out for the night, unfortunately. So Harry Stewart won't hold that second position coming out of this round. Tim Ryan a little bit of a free kick. Who else is going to benefit from that? The drivers with it. Big for the championship.
Yeah, it's massive. Ethan Winter and Tim Ryan running 2nd and 1st respectively as restarts have been changed to single file from here on out. And hopefully that'll result in a nice clean restart. It'll give Tim Ryan a good jump. He won't have anyone to fight with on the front row. The front row is all him. And Ethan Winter with a little bit of a slide there on the way out of the final corner. Vanderwacker now challenging him for P2. And we can't forget about Oldfield, who seems supreme on the slick.
Found something special in this last little bit, the last 15 odd so laps. He's been really, really quick. So watch Bradley Oldfield in that 51 come along finish this race off potentially. Yeah, right on cue. Steal the spot from Vanderwacker. I must say, Bilson's found something again. Look at him coming back now.
Yeah, maybe his tyres have cooled down a little bit and that's afforded him a little more grip on the slick. Have to wait and see. Tim Ryan's starting to skip away here. He currently leads by 6/10 from Ethan Winter, and the second to fifth battle all covered by absolutely nothing here. Oldfield now trying to find some pace down low. Seems to be the only way he can get past Vanderwacker, as Bilson's still piling the pressure on and banging wheels on the exit are Oldfield and Vanderwacker. This is going to get intense here, coming up to 13 laps to go.
Bilson had nowhere to go. He had to get out of the throttle there. Make sure that he didn't run over of Oldfield, and again he's just got a little bit more momentum coming into the corner but can't take advantage of it. Running very, very quickly into a one line suits all track at the moment as Oldfield tries that outside again, with Wilson having a look at the inside. Oldfield's making the outside work very, very well again. The track has changed over the last 2 laps again.
Yeah, Oldfield's just flinging it in there with more momentum in turns 1 and 2, and despite it being so slick, he's able to keep that pace up. Through 3 and 4, it seems a little bit more difficult, especially if you have to protect the line from Riley Bilson, who's alongside now. How low will he dip? They were trying early on to stick to the inside wall down there, but it seems like no one wants to go there now. Their only choice is to race in the slick and get what fresh clay they can. 10 laps to go for our leader, Tim Ryan, who's had an excellent stint here. All he needs to do is hold on and hit his marks. He's got no pressure from behind. Winter trying desperately to keep up the pace, but Tim Ryan currently the only driver setting times in the 12-second bracket.
It's just in a world of his own, isn't he? He's just absolutely passing it at this present stage. There's no opportunity for anyone in that second group to close on in. It's going to take a bit of bad luck, a bit of lap traffic, something for these guys to catch up. Bilson looks like he might have just done too much, and it might be all done for him as well. It's starting to drop back a little.
Yeah, big drop back, meanwhile, from, looks
Clayton
like,
Davies.
Yeah, Clayton Davies. I saw him there, unfortunately. Fall down the order, and that's going to be a mad dash with 6 laps to go for us here. Davies now well and truly out of the night. What a shame it is for him. Looks like he just...
Wheel already broke.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it is. There was actually contact before that point with, it looks like, Hobson in turn 4. Brenton Hobson went up into Davies on the exit. So that's what destroyed Clayton Davies' steering. This is the move. Hobson up 12 positions right now, but unfortunately coming together with the number 50. You'll see it here. He was already in the wall and then bounces into Hobson. That just made things even worse.
Bring straight away. Again, all of the cautions have all been self-penalising, so there's been no need for race control to intervene in any of them. Oldfield versus Bilson, still the best battle, but Berkeley's not far away. Ethan Winter doesn't have anything for Tim Ryan at the front. Vanderwacker holding on, but 4th and 5th is on.
Absolutely is. Who's going to come away with the podium here? It's all on for young and old here at I-55. Easy does it around the outside for Oldfield. He's going to try and get Bilson here, but Bilson comes up and squeezes Oldfield into the wall. Oh, some pace loss there. Oldfield's going to switch down low to try and get the position back, but there's no pace down there. Bilson's going to hold on to 4th place. Vanderwacker, meanwhile, getting up into 2nd versus Ethan Winter. We have a new order of the podium briefly, and the white flag will fly for Tim Ryan at the front of the field. Who's going to finish in 2nd? It's a drag race out of every corner between Nathan Vanderwacker and Ethan Winter. Can Bradley Oldfield get onto the podium? Tim Ryan comes out of the final corner to take his first feature win in a while. Brilliant job from Tim. Riley Bilson is going to push Ethan Winter off the podium in the final couple of corners.
0.07 of a second, and he just got the momentum out of the turns 3 and 4 on that last lap. Steals a podium, but Tim Ryan, too good once again. What a drive.
Back back to the top for the 98. Brilliant stuff indeed. He didn't look back from pole position, and he'll be thanking the spinning wheel for that this one time. But hey, there we go. Once again, maximum points from tonight for Tim Ryan. And that's going to make things a little bit more difficult for Ethan Winter at the top of the standings. I think Winter might still hold on to the championship lead, but only by the slimmest of margins. If anything, it's closed up.
100%. It'll be very, very fun looking at the championship standings when we get into racing next week. But Tim Ryan, Nathan Vanderwack, Riley Bilson, your podium.
Yep, Ethan Winter finishes 4th ahead of Bradley Oldfield, and then you have to go back another 6/10 to find Brenton Hobson and Joel Berkeley, with Boyd, Vickers and Noonan rounding out the top 10. Shame for Kobe Noonan. He started in 2nd, remember, and had it all ahead of him, but just couldn't keep up. Darcy Wilson will finish just a position ahead of where he started in 11th. Jaden Russell makes it up to 12th spot, just struggling to find a way forward, unlike Hobson. Then Cole Ferguson up to 13th place in the last finisher, with Clayton Davies retiring 7 laps from the end. We also lost Brady Baldwin, Harry Stewart, Josh Barry, Sean Stevens, Zach Rattray White and Trent Gosley. Gosley was out only a lap into the race. Oh dear, some big stories to come out of this one, but in particular the 11 of Harry Stewart retiring from the race. He was 3rd in the championship, equal on points with Winter coming into this round. But we'll focus on our podium for the time being. Tim Ryan joins us once again. Well, it looks like a nice return to form here for you here at I-55, Tim. Pole, win, leading every lap, just as you like it.
It was a good race. Yeah, 50 laps is going to be a long time, so it was just looking after the tyre. Normally in these races, I'm pretty good at looking after my tyre, even if the pace is normally so close, say with people like Ethan and that as well. But normally I have a little bit better tyre life over a 30, 40, 50 lap feature race. So yeah, it was just kind of driving to his bumper until he was running in the middle portion of the race, and then I could obviously hear him getting closer and just watching the delta and move down at the right time, and then yeah, just use the tyre up towards the end.
Yeah, exactly. The track got really slick in those final stages, and yeah, you were running the top quite a bit in the early stages. At the end of the race, did you ever think about going all the way down to the bottom? There did seem to be a strip of fresh clay down there, but I guess the track was too flat to really make use of it.
Yeah, exactly right, Reece. The bottom of the track is quite flat, which is why, even though it looks like there's a lot of moisture there, it isn't getting used as much as it probably looks like it needs to be. But yeah, the reason for running the top at the start was I actually haven't done much testing, so I didn't know where the fastest line would be, and I've ran the bottom probably a little bit too much in the last few weeks, so I just wanted to make sure I had the fuel to run up the top, and that's why I kind of was burning it at the start of the race, just because I had just way too much fuel to run the middle or anything lower than that. So just tried to stay up there for as long as possible while trying to save the tyre, and then move down to the bottom, because you can save the tyre a little bit better there, but it was worthwhile just wasting the fuel for the start of the stint there.
Well, you were equal second in the championship with Harry Stewart, and with Harry's retirement, that's going to give you a big points bonus. And Winter not finishing on the podium, you're well and truly in the fight now. Not to say you weren't before, but the gap at the very least has closed up.
Yeah, I've had a few shocking rounds, had a bit going on outside the sim world, so I'm taking a bit of a step back, and yeah, just been hard even focusing, like, to be honest, on the sim at the moment. Like a few weekends ago, I completely missed qualifying because I was just mentally elsewhere. So yeah, it's nice to be back. Hopefully, yes, not too worried about the points, honestly, just getting to, I obviously like to be competitive every round, but I'm even unsure if I obviously make every round, so just trying to win every race when I'm here is really my goal. And yeah, we'll see what happens in 2 weeks' time.
Indeed we shall. Hopefully we get another chance to chat to you after Fairbury. Well, Tim Ryan, floor is yours.
Fairbury. Oh,
yeah.
Fairbury. Brady. Yeah, that'll be a tough track. That'll probably get reset, I would imagine. I was actually a little bit surprised they didn't reset it tonight. But yeah, I'd like to thank obviously you guys for putting the broadcast on. Brady puts a lot of time in. Race Control boys, and all the other guys for coming out and making a competitive series.
Indeed. Big thanks for joining us, Tim Ryan, back on top here in ODSE. Well, next up, second place on the road, it was Nathan van der Wacker. Congratulations, Nathan. Got your first podium last time out at Eldora, and now you've got your second feature podium in ODSE. It must feel good.
Yeah, I think we've got the devil off of our shoulders. You know, we've got third last week, second today, and you know, hopefully it's a first next race. But well, I'll count my lucky stars there.
Absolutely, you will. It seemed like there wasn't much anyone could do to catch Tim, so the battle really was for second. You did get a bit close to him at the end, but I guess you were, I mean, I was going to say driving in your mirrors, but these cars don't have mirrors.
Nah, definitely not. But yeah, nah, Tim definitely left us tonight, and I kind of thought, you know, he was running the top there for a few laps at the start, and we thought he was going to burn off his tyres a bit, but he was still just dominant at that end of the race. But myself personally, I wasn't too happy with my pace from probably about lap 25 to 40. It wasn't exceptional. I was searching a lot, and then that last 10 laps, the car just had a second life, and I was lucky I got that restart, and I knew the car was good on a restart, and I was able just to you know, thread the needle around the outside, go around Ethan there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, regardless, you were fourth in the championship coming into this round, and it's been a really good points-paying year for you so far. So I guess February is going to be the next opportunity to grab some points. Similar track to this one.
Yeah, I like these sort of tracks. I like a bit of banking. I'm not a fan of the flat tracks, so definitely a fan of the banking. I've got quite a lot of experience there when it came to Pro Series as well, so I know what line's quick, I know what not's quick. So yeah, I was able to use that here tonight, so hopefully I can use it, you know, for the next round of February.
Well, the floor is yours, Nathan. Anyone you'd like to thank for your second ODSE main podium?
Yeah, of course, all the guys at ODSE that run the series. You guys at Sim Speed put on a great broadcast. Of course, all the boys at BBS and Vortex put a lot of work in behind the scenes to just get the cars dialed in. A lot of practice laps goes into this, and of course all the team sponsors: Pace Graphics, Pulse Apparel, Styled Imagery, Australian Speedway Results, and LCJ Carpentry.
Nathan van der Wacker joining us there, second on the road here at I-55. And finally, third place, Riley Bilson for 9.5 Sim Sports. Riley, we've been following your exploits for a while, and this was a very successful round for you. You got the fastest lap of the race on your way to a podium.
Yeah, that was unexpected. Obviously, like 50 laps, you just had to save tyre. I don't know how Tim held on to his so good, but yeah, no, I don't know. I think I did the quickest lap on the bottom. The bottom actually was quicker at the start than the top, even though I was saving tires. So yeah, no, it was good. I had a lot of speed at the end. It was just hard to pass Bradley and obviously Nathan at the end, but that's racing. We got there in the end.
Indeed, you did. How was the track feeling at the very end? Tim was talking about how difficult it was to try and find pace in the late stages with just how slick the whole thing was.
Yeah, it was definitely slick. You can see that. But with about 5-ish laps to go, I found the top, and because I had saved tyre, I was a lot quicker. Like I say, it was just a bit hard to pass Bradley at the time, but I was decent at the end. The track was difficult though, and I commend everyone for the amount of cautions we had. Everyone kept it pretty clean considering the track state, so kudos to everyone for that.
Yeah, good point there. Very clean feature despite the limited incidents we did see. Well, Riley, floor is yours. Is there anyone you'd like to thank for your third place?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, thanks to all the guys at NAR5 for supporting. I know they watch. And then obviously Vortex and BBS, Colin, Ethan, van der Wacker, everyone that's involved, Thomas. You know, we just keep proving week in, week out that we're a force to be reckoned with now, and I can't thank everyone enough. Also, a quick shout out to Tristo in hospital at the moment. Thoughts with you, mate. Hope you're getting better. Hope to see you back out here soon. Thanks to all the admins, Brady, Liam, everyone that's involved, Glenn, Jay for broadcasting, you for calling, Reese. And then, of course, Pace Graphics, Pulse Apparel, Styled Imagery, Australian Speedway Results, LCJ Carpentry, and yeah, that's about it.
9-5 Sim Sports on the podium once again there with Riley Bilson. And that is going to bring proceedings to an end here, Jay. But in 2 weeks' time, we go racing again in the ODSE Australian Sprintcar Championship, the Illinois Dirt Classic at Fairbury Speedway. Man, this place, I mean, if you thought I-55 was tight, Fairbury is even more.
I think Tim sort of summed it up a little bit. He was a bit worried about how tight it was going to be after what unfolded tonight. But yeah, next round in a couple of weeks is going to be very, very entertaining to watch at Fairbury Speedway. So make sure you join us in a couple of weeks.
Indeed. Well, we want to give a big shout out to the crew at ODSE for running a tight ship here as per usual. Liam in race control, Brady as well for organising this whole show in the first place. And shout out to all the drivers too for putting on an absolutely fantastic feature there, the longest of the season. Also, it's been said multiple times by multiple people tonight, but once again, shout out to Tristo Yelland, who's watching this broadcast from this event. Certainly hope to see you back out on track soon, mate. The Neuropower Highbanks Hustle going to Tim Ryan here on SimSpeed TV. No matter what platform you're coming from, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch or Kick, we wish you a happy Thursday night. We'll see you next time.